Hello, Virjo. So, a very good evening to all of you. So, this is the third session on this very, very important chapter, chapter number 7, performance, measurement, and evaluation. I have given one question in homework, beta. How many students have tried and solved that particular question which was given in homework? It was a very easy question of economic value added. No adjustment as advocated by STEM Stewart and Company. How many student has completed that one? कितने बच्चों ने वो एक क्वेश्चन कर लिया है बेटा? इफ एनी डाउट देयर यू कैन आस्क मी. भाविन, गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा. सुरेखा, गुड इवनिंग. How many students have completed that particular assignment which I have given to you? Okay, that's a very simple question, beta. Just here to calculate the notepad either through traditional way or we have seen the other way that in just operating profit you will deduct the tax charge on interest. You will get the notepad net operating profit after tax. No adjustment is there in that particular question. So today's coverage will be, we will cover one or two questions of economic value added. Then we will proceed towards the starting of the chapter, that is, what do you mean by responsibility accounting and what are the responsibility centers? Okay, we will do that one, and if time permit, then non-financial model. There are total 4 non-financial model, and if time permit, definitely we will start the very first non-financial model, that is the balance scorecard. Clear है बेटा? तो सबसे पहले एक रिवीजन लेते हैं for economic value added. In the last session, we have already started the economic value added. So the very first point we want to revise, why there is a need of economic value added under the financial model, despite the fact that we are already having ROI, we are already having RI. So why there is a need of third financial model? Can you please recall it without referring to the copy or the study material? What are the two reasons due to which the EV has been evolved? It can be easily questioned by the paper setter in one of the requirement that first of all, they will ask you to calculate the ROI, then RI, and then they will require from you that what are the disadvantages in ROI and RI together due to which the EVA has been evolved. So this point is very, very important. Why we are having the third financial model despite ROI and RI? The reason are, please recall it, I'm giving you 30 seconds to recall the same without referring the study material. Okay, so the very first reason is ROI and RI is based on accounting profit. Yes, accounting profit. And accounting profit are subject to manipulation by the accountant. There are n number of adjustments that can be done because on that particular matter, there is no accounting standard guidance. So there are n number of manipulation that can be done in the accounting profit. If profit is manipulated and based on that profit, you are measuring the performance of a department, definitely your objective is not fulfilled. So, STEM Stewart and Company, which has provided this concept to the world, has advocated that we do not require the accounting profit for measuring the performance. We require the cash profit because cash profit cannot be altered by the accountant. Cash profit is also known as economic profit, and this profit cannot be altered by the accountant. So the basic funda behind evolution of economic value added is that all the manipulation should be set apart and we should take the cash profit, that is the economic profit, to evaluate the performance, to measure the performance of the departmental head. Second point, ROI and RI consider the expectation of long-term debt, but they fail to consider the expectation of the owner of the company, that is the shareholders. So economic value added not only use the cash profit so that manipulation can be avoided while measuring the performance, but it also considers the need and expectation of the equity shareholder. Okay, these are the two reasons, beta. Simply, what is economic value added? We will compare two profit. The first one will be the actual profit, and the other one will be the expected profit by the provider of capital, including the shareholder. So, if actual profit exceed the expectation, it will definitely create positive economic value added. But in case the actual profit is below the expected profit of the long-term provider of capital, then definitely there will be negative economic value added. Okay, so technically, economic value added is the difference between NOPAT, net operating profit after tax, less capital multiplied by weighted average cost of capital. Can you please tell me, beta, in ROI and RI, whether we will use opening capital, average capital, or closing capital in ROI and RI? Okay, beta, please communicate in account ROI and RI whether we will use the opening capital, closing capital, or average capital. It should be given by the question. But in case of economic value added, 100% it will be provided by the question. No. In economic value added, we will always use the opening capital employed as per Stewart and Company. So in ROI and RI, we will wait for the question to respond. But in case of economic value added, the rule is simple. We will always use the opening capital employed for computation of economic value added. Okay, beta? Chलिए. So next point में आते हैं अपन. How many adjustments are there? A total of 160 adjustments are there. But in our syllabus, hardly they will test us for 4 to 5 adjustment max to max in a question. The most important point is regarding the adjustment. If the adjustment relates to current year, can you please tell me whether it will affect the capital, whether it will affect the NOPAT, or it will affect both? If the transaction relates to the current financial year for which we are computing the economic value added, whether capital will be affected through that adjustment, or NOPAT will be affected through that adjustment, or both will be affected. I am waiting for your answers. Please participate. Okay, Shrivani, correct answer, beta. Very good. What about other student, beta? Fatima, Karthik, Shijesh, Surekha, Bhaumik. What's your view? If the adjustment relates to current year transaction, then whether it will reflect capital or NOPAT or both. Surekha, beta, might be you not have attended the last session. Actually, the capital to be taken is the opening capital. So any transaction of current year nature will not affect the capital, because the capital which we have taken in economic value added is related with opening capital employed. So only and only NOPAT will be affected through that. Okay, beta? So let's start one more question, and then we will proceed towards new topic of this particular chapter. So please open page number 49, beta, 7.49. Page number 7.49, question number 4. Page number 7.49, question number 4. Okay, as usual, we will read out this question combinedly, and then time will be provided you to give me the answer related to economic value added. Okay, chaliye. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं बेटा क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 पेज नंबर 49. कैन आई स्टार्ट? पेज नंबर 49 क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. Okay beta, I am starting this one. Water utility service is established with an aim for supply and distribution of water in Mumbai, as well as supply of water to the various local authorities for distribution to villages and other small city adjacent to Mumbai. So the name of the company is Water Utility Service. It has been established to supply and distribute water in Mumbai as well as to the local authority which are located nearby Mumbai. This involved planning, operating, treating, maintaining and distributing water resources in the country's urban center and other areas mandated by the Maharashtra government. So indirectly here, our business is controlled by the state government. The name of the company is Water Utility Service. We supply water in the Mumbai and in the nearby villages that are adjacent to Mumbai. Our areas where we can supply the water are licensed, are mandated by the Maharashtra government. Our mission is to provide sustainable water in a cost-effective and environmentally friendly manner to the economy. So this is the mission of our company. Now, this is very, very important parameter. Please read out very carefully. Government ensures that the company doesn't take advantage of its monopoly position in the regional area by increasing the price. Maharashtra government has authorized us to distribute the water and collect the water charges directly from the consumer. But government responsibility is to ensure that since we are the only supplier of water in Mumbai and in the nearby villages, due to that we are in the monopoly situation. So due to that, are we raising unnecessary prices and recovering from that consumer? So there is a check that is mandated by the government. The government control majority of service through its department. एक department है उनका, that is known as Water Regulatory Body, which determines an acceptable margin level and ensures that pricing of the company within this area doesn't break this level. So the exclusivity has been provided by the Maharashtra government. Maharashtra government is also answerable to the public, since it's the basic need, water. So government want to ensure through its department known as Water Regulatory Body. What Water Regulatory Body has done? They have established an acceptable ROCE to check that whether the company is earning the profit within that limit or not. If the company is earning profit within that acceptable ROCE, then definitely we can say the company is not exploiting the monopoly situation. But if the rate of earning is more than the acceptable ROI, then definitely the Water Regulatory Body will take objection in this regard. The remaining work, that is the water bottle operation. ना अब यहाँ पे देखिए बेटा, एक कहानी में ट्विस्ट है ना? आपको पास दो बिजनेस अवेलेबल है. The first business is water distribution system, which is held by Maharashtra government, और वो जिस एरिया में बोलते हैं, on that area itself we can distribute the water, and that too at government charges, and that too within the acceptable ROC. We are having another business also, that is water bottle operation, which is not regulated by the government. कौन सा डिवीजन रेगुलेटेड है? वाटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम, जो पूरे मुंबई और विलेज के लिए घर पे आता है पानी, है ना, जिसको अपन बोलते हैं गवर्नमेंट वाटर भी बोलते हैं, सरकारी पानी भी बोला जाता है. उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल करती है. बट यू कैन फ्रीली सेल वाटर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ बॉटल which is not regulated by the government, and the company charges a market rate for water supply bottle in India. Very good, chalega. The regulator compute return on capital employed of company based on its own valuation of capital asset which are used in operation and the profit from those service. तो जब ROCE निकाला जाएगा किस बिजनेस के लिए बेटा? Again and again I'm repeating here there are two business. The first one is water distribution system which is regulated by the government. In that we cannot earn more profit than the acceptable ROCE. Then how that acceptable ROCE will be calculated? Valuation of capital asset will be done by the water regulatory body that has to be accepted, and the profit will be taken which we have earned in this business. Important point is our valuation of capital asset is not required. The water regulatory body will itself value what is the value of the asset involved in water distribution system. Okay. Acceptable level of ROC set by the regulator is 7%. उन्होंने बोल दिया if you want to earn till 7% you can easily earn, but if anything earned beyond that then the company would be penalized. Company is trying to improve the performance for the benefit of the shareholder. In order to communicate the objective of maximizing shareholder wealth, the director have decided to consider economic value added as the key performance indicator. Okay. So हमें ईवीए निकालना है अपने बिजनेस का, पूरे कंपनी का ना, ईवीए कोई एक पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस का नहीं, पूरे कंपनी के लिए ईवीए निकालना है. दो बिजनेस हमारे पास, वाटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑपरेशन, वाटर बॉटल ऑपरेशन. ओके, रेवेन्यू गिवन, ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट गिवन, ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट गिवन, फाइनेंस चार्जेस ऐसा दिया हुआ है, ऑडिटेड अकाउंट के हिसाब से हमारी कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड कितनी है, एंड दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जो आपका वाटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑपरेशन है उसका जो कैपिटल है दैट विल बी डिटरमाइंड बाय द वाटर रेगुलेटरी बॉडी. तो उन्होंने डिटरमाइन किया है कितनी कैपिटल लगेगी. ठीक है. फिर जो ऊपर ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट आपको दिया हुआ है ना 162, इसमें क्या क्या शामिल है आपको ये बताया है फॉर प्रीवियस ईयर एज वेल एज फॉर करंट ईयर ऑल्सो. ओके. Then second point is related with economic depreciation. Third point is related with tax, and we have already written in our copy that under EVA, only and only the tax paid in cash will be considered. Tax paid on accrual basis will not be considered under EVA as per Stewart and Company. Fourth point is related to R&D. Fifth point में आपको यहाँ पे cost of capital दिया है, but mind it बेटा, जो debt का रेट दिया है वो प्री टैक्स दिया है, जबकि हमें वो आफ्टर टैक्स चाहिए, और कितना कितना रेशियो है इक्विटी का ये दिया है ना. तो आई एम गिविंग यू सफिशिएंट टाइम ऑफ 5 to 7 8 मिनट्स भी देखूंगा आपको to try this question on your own. Give me economic value added for the current financial year, है ना. और जब आप economic value added निकाल रहे हैं तो आप पूरी कंपनी के लिए निकाल रहे हैं, ना कि कोई पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस के लिए निकाल रहे हैं. तो forget about the ROC of 7% and all that thing. That will be required in point number 2, not in point number 1, because economic value added is to be computed not to a business but for a company as a whole, है ना. चलिए बेटा, so I'm giving you the time. Please solve this question on your own. Don't solve it by only through calculator. Solve this question on a rough page. बेटा ना, इसको लिख के करेंगे तो आपके लिए बहुत इजी जाएगा कि हमें कैसे क्या करना है. फाइंड आउट द इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू एडेड, और तोड़ तोड़ के चलिए. आपको 3 वर्किंग नोट करना पड़ेगा. पहला एडजस्टेड नोटपैड, सेकंड कैपिटल कौन सी लेना है आपको उसको भी एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा, एंड द थर्ड पॉइंट इज वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. तो एट अ टाइम एक के बारे में सोचे, देन इट विल बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू सॉल्व दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो आई एम गिविंग यू सम टाइम बेटा टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन ऑन योर ओन. स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलेगा बेटा ना, एक साथ मत लीजिएगा। सबसे पहले आप नोपेट कैलकुलेट कर लीजिए, देन यू शुड प्रोसीड टुवर्ड्स द कैपिटल, एंड देन इन द लास्ट वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल। और डिवाइड एंड रूल वाला जो प्रिंसिपल है वो अप्लाई कीजिएगा। Last 2 minutes are available with you, beta. Even if you can solve notepad, there will be no issue, beta. Na? Try to complete as much part as possible on your own. Last 2 minutes available with you. ओके बेटा, कैन वी स्टार्ट? देखिए, तो सबसे पहले वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू एडेड फॉर द कंपनी, है ना? तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था, आपको WUS के लिए निकालना है, ना कि आपको इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू एडेड। यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस ऑपरेशन। एंड डेफिनेटली इन द सेकेंड रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट we will find out the ROCE for a particular business that is mandated by the government. But regarding the economic value added, they have clearly given financial performance of the company as a whole, not of a particular department. So सबसे पहले हम शुरुआत करेंगे बेटा ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट से। We have been given the operating profit as 162। ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट हमें दिया है, चलिए स्टार्ट करते। देखिए, सबसे पहले हमें तीन चीजें निकालना है, लेट इट बी वेरी क्लियर। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एडजस्टेड नोपेट, adjusted capital, and the last point is weighted average cost of capital. So first of all, we will find out the NOPAT. In NOPAT, the very first point, operating profit. We have already written that operating profit is nothing but profit before interest and tax. Operating profit is nothing but profit. What is the amount of operating profit? It's 162. And very, very important point, NOPAT you are finding out for the financial year. For the financial year, what is the financial year beta of NOPAT? You are finding out it for 2021, है ना? जो आप EVA निकाल रहे हैं, उसमें जो आप नोपेड निकाल रहे हैं, वो आप निकाल रहे हैं 2021 के लिए। 2021, ओके। सो सबसे पहले मुझे आप ये बताइए, वेदर इन ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट इफेक्ट ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस आर देयर? यस, द इफेक्ट ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस आर देयर because operating expenses has been deducted from the operating profit. Now let's check out the very first adjustment regarding the operating profit. Regarding the operating profit में जो आपने ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस डिडक्ट किया था, उसमें क्या क्या चीजें हैं, जरा चेक कीजिए बेटा, बहुत ध्यान से ना। देखिए, ये जो प्रॉफिट है 162 का, इसमें ये अमाउंट डिडक्टेड है और इसके लिए आपको डिटेल दिया है पॉइंट नंबर 1। तो हम इस ईयर की बात नहीं करेंगे राइट नाउ, बिकॉज दिस इज द प्रीवियस ईयर, while NOPAT is to be computed for the current financial year. ये हमारा current financial year है। सो जो भी एडजस्टमेंट होने हैं नोपेड के, दैट शुड रिलेट टू ईयर 2021 एंड नॉट 1920. ओके, तो सबसे पहले हम डेप्रिसिएशन की बात कर देते हैं. हाउ मच डेप्रिसिएशन हैज बीन डिडक्टेड? 118 crore depreciation has been deducted. One more point is given in point number 2 regarding the depreciation, that economic depreciation is 166 crore in 2021. While in the financial year 1920, economic and accounting depreciation were assumed to be same. If any adjustment is related to 1920 regarding the depreciation amount, we will not do anything because the economic and accounting depreciation are same. Accounting depreciation are same. But in the year 2021, economic depreciation is 166 crore, while the accounting depreciation is 118 crore. So what we have to do, beta? We have to find out the economic profit. So first of all, in accounting profit, 118 crore has been deducted. Correct? Hai? So this should be added back. And to find out the profit, we should deduct the economic depreciation, that is 166 crore. ये adjustment clear हो आपको? So please give the adjustment of depreciation. डेप्रिसिएशन में जो हमारा अकाउंटिंग डेप्रिसिएशन है, that will be added back. And what is the amount of accounting depreciation? It's 118. Okay. So sorry, beta. Apologies for the technical issue, due to which our 5 to 7 minutes have been wasted. So we are at economic depreciation. है ना? I asked you a question. What if the 1920 economic depreciation is also given? What will be the impact of that economic depreciation of 1920? Suppose the amount of economic depreciation is 125 crore. Answer me, beta. What will be the impact on notepad? Please communicate me, beta. What's your view if in point number 2, along with the economic depreciation of 2021, we have been given the economic depreciation of 1920 also. Suppose the amount is 125 crore. So what will be the impact of such amount on calculation of notepad? Okay, Bhavin has answered the same. Okay. What the views of other student, beta? Please communicate fast. Okay, Shrivani, correct answer है. Bhavin, आपका भी correct answer है. There will be no effect of economic depreciation of the financial year 1920 while calculating the NOPAT, because again and again the same point I will remind that NOPAT will be of current year. Any transaction which has been occurred during the financial year 2021, that transaction only will impact the NOPAT if that transaction has been covered under the 160 adjustment provided by SCM steward. ओके बेटा, चलिए. सो बड़े आगे कोई भी इसका इंपैक्ट नहीं होना है. फिर सेकंड देखिए, प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट. क्या करें हम? whether such is to be added or is to be ignored. Provision for doubtful debt, it has to be added because provision has been disqualified by STEM Steward and Company. They do not believe in accrual accounting profit. They believe in cash profit. And in cash profit, there is no terminology such as provision. So provision for doubtful debt of current year will be added. Provision for doubtful debt. What is the amount? Amount is 4 lakh rupee. Okay. Now, please read out point number 4 related to research and development, and tell me the treatment of research and development while calculating the adjusted NOPAT. Please provide me the treatment of R&D. The amount is 24 lakh, and the point is given in point number 4, whether depreciation is also to be considered, that is amortization is also to be considered regarding the depreciation, regarding the research and development. ओके, तो सबसे पहला एडजस्टमेंट तो इसकी कैपिटल वैल्यू का हो जाएगा बेटा. व्हाट इज द अमाउंट? 24 लाख. तो सबसे पहले मैं ये लिख देता हूं, R&D कैपिटल वैल्यू जो हमने रेवेन्यू में चार्ज कर दिया था, वी विल एड बैक सच वैल्यू 24 करोड़ रुपी. मैंने एड बैक कर दिया. टेल मी द अमोर्टाइजेशन अमाउंट. अमोर्टाइजेशन अमाउंट कितना आएगा आपको यहां पे बताना है बेटा. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, दिस इज पॉइंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. टेल मी द अमोर्टाइजेशन अमाउंट. ओके रश्मि, करेक्ट आंसर है बेटा। Bhomik, we will come to that point regarding the provision for doubtful debt, 9 crore rupee. That is the account balance, beta. That is the closing balance of provision for doubtful debt. In NOPAT, whatever transaction relates to the current year, okay, that will be impacted. In point number third, that is the total provision for doubtful debt available at the end of the period. That will be useful whenever we were calculate the capital amount. Okay, Dikshit has said amount 4.8 crore rupee to NOPAD. How many student is of the view that amortization will be 24 crore divided by 5 crore, divided by 5 years? 24 crore divided by 5 years. Please read out the line very carefully, beta. They have not said that the project will benefit for the next 5 years. First of all, let the project be completed. Let the project be completed. This is the very first year. This is the very first year of its development. The project has not yet developed. It will take another 4 days of development. Then, from 5 years from now, the benefit will be available. And whenever the benefit will be available, then only we will amortize the same. आप पढ़िए, ये लिखा है the new project, this new project that will be developed over 5 year. अभी और इसमें 5 साल लगेंगे और तब ये हमें लॉन्ग टर्म बेनिफिट प्रोवाइड करेगा. और इस 5 years में 2021 is the first year of project. It doesn't mean कि बेनिफिट आज से मिल रहा है बेटा. बेनिफिट आज से 4 साल बाद मिलना स्टार्ट होगा. एंड व्हेन द R&D is completed, then only the amortization is to be done. This is very very important point है ना. What happened in जल्दबाजी में क्या होता है बेटा, हम इस पॉइंट को ये मान लेते हैं कि 5 सालों तक बेनिफिट मिलेगा ना. 5 सालों में इसका डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस है और इस डेवलपमेंट फेज का दिस इज द वेरी फर्स्ट ईयर. द R&D हैज नॉट येट कंप्लीटेड, सो देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ अमोर्टाइजेशन है ना. यहाँ पे कोई भी अमोर्टाइजेशन का अमाउंट नहीं आना है, नॉट अप्लीकेबल. क्लियर हुआ ये पॉइंट आपको? चलिए, व्हाट अबाउट द अदर नॉन कैश आइटम? नॉन कैश आइटम को हम एड बैक कर देंगे बिकॉज वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट द कैश प्रॉफिट. अदर नॉन कैश आइटम, what is the item of amount of non-cash item? 14 crore rupees we have added back. We have considered point number 2. Now tell me point number 3. Point number 3 आप पढ़िए और मुझे बताइए. Provision for doubtful debt we have already covered. Tell me the tax amount that will be deducted from this profit. Tax amount. Tell me the amount of tax that will be deducted from the NOPAT. ओके बेटा, 18 करोड़ रुपए करेक्ट आंसर है. सो प्लीज डिडक्ट टैक्स पेड. 18 करोड़ रुपए डिडक्ट करना है हमें. ओके, नाउ वन लास्ट एडजस्टमेंट देयर. कैन यू प्लीज नेम दैट एडजस्टमेंट? एक लास्ट एडजस्टमेंट बाकी है, अदरवाइज वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीटेड द नोपैड फॉर द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2021. व्हाट वी लेफ्ट, हमने क्या छोड़ दिया है, चेक कीजिए बेटा. एक एडजस्टमेंट हमारा बाकी रह गया है. व्हाट इज दैट एडजस्टमेंट? After that adjustment, we were able to compute the adjusted NOPAT as per Stewart views, and that is interest charge है ना. जो टैक्स बेनिफिट है इंटरेस्ट चार्ज का, वो हमें लेना है यहाँ पे. सो हमने कल एक तरीका देखा था बेटा. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल डिडक्ट द इंटरेस्ट चार्ज एंड आफ्टर टेकिंग द टैक्स बेनिफिट यू हैव टू ऐड बैक द इंटरेस्ट आफ्टर टैक्स. अदरवाइज यू कैन डायरेक्टली टेक द टैक्स चार्ज एंड दैट विल प्रोवाइड यू द करेक्ट आंसर. तो आप नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिख दीजिए बेटा इसमें. Tax on interest charge. Check the main statement beta. What is the finance charges? 46 crore. What is the tax rate? Tax rate has been given to you in point number. Where the tax rate has been given beta? Here the tax rate has been given. Can you please help me out? Where the tax rate has been given, and tell me the tax rate, beta. Okay, the tax rate is given in the main statement itself. Tax at the rate 30%. Okay, so tax rate is 30%. For 46 का 30% निकाले बेटा कितना आ रहा है? 46 multiplied by 13%, it's 13.8. So now you can check out the adjusted notepad. Adjusted notepad. Okay, so tell me the amount. 162 plus 118. So it's 124.2 is the cash profit earned by the organization. If the cash profit earned by the organization, now this cash profit will be compared with the expected profit. But to calculate the expected profit, we require the capital. So let's start the capital point, beta. Capital का discussion start कीजिए. Capital, okay. So capital is required on 1st April 2020. Now please tell me, beta, what amount of capital we will take, whether it's 1495 or it's 1422. 1495 लेना है हमें कैपिटल या 1422 लेना है? प्लीज कम्युनिकेट टू मी. 1495 or 1422. What capital we have to take? Okay, it's 1495 because 1422 will be applicable whenever you are calculating the ROC, whenever you are calculating the ROC as prescribed by the authority. है ना? अभी नहीं, अभी तो आप economic value added निकाल रहे, you will go with the audited balance data. So audited accounts balance 1495. Okay, now whether there is any adjustment of depreciation, no. Depreciation is of accounting depreciation and economic depreciation are same for financial year 1920. Therefore, no adjustment will be done. While the 2021 adjustment will not be done in the capital because the capital has been taken till the end of the previous year, तो depreciation का कोई भी adjustment नहीं होगा. अब आप मुझे बताइए, balance of provision for doubtful debt हमें कैपिटल एफ ऑन होती है बेटा, तो ये भी बैलेंस हमें कब का चाहिए? एफ ऑन 1st अप्रैल 2020. ना ध्यान दीजिएगा, ये फॉर द पीरियड नहीं है. कैपिटल इज नॉट फॉर द पीरियड, कैपिटल इज एफ ऑन. तो जो भी ट्रांजैक्शन होंगे दैट शुड ऑल्सो बी रिलेट टू एफ ऑन 1st अप्रैल 2020. तो आप पॉइंट चेक कीजिए बेटा, पॉइंट नंबर 1 एंड पॉइंट नंबर 3 का सेकेंड और थर्ड लाइन जो दिया है प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट का, उसके देख के मुझे बताइए व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोविजन दैट हैज बीन अपीयरिंग ऑन 1st अप्रैल 2020. फर्स्ट अप्रैल 2020 को कितना अमाउंट आएगा? बोलो बेटा. एंड द अमाउंट इज 5 लाख रुपी. कैसे आया? अब ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. 31 मार्च 2021 को हमारा बैलेंस है 9 करोड़ रुपए का. गिवन इन पॉइंट नंबर थर्ड, आप पॉइंट नंबर थर्ड देखिए, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड लाइन, द प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट वॉज 9 करोड़ इन 2021 बैलेंस शीट। तो 9 करोड़ हमारा क्लोजिंग बैलेंस था। ओके, 2021 में आपने इसमें कितना अमाउंट ऐड किया? आपने 4 करोड़ रुपए ऐड किया है। तो जब आप रिवर्स जाएंगे तो एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द ईयर व्हाट वाज द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट? इट वाज 5 करोड़ रुपए। 4 करोड़ रुपए आपने और इसमें एड बैक किया, देन इट कम्स आउट टू 9 करोड़ रुपए बैलेंस एट द ईयर एंड। समझ में आया बेटा? तो ये 9 करोड़ हमारा क्लोजिंग बैलेंस है इस साल का। इस साल हमने उसमें कितना और एंट्री किया? 4 करोड़ रुपए की। तो एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द पीरियड कितना रहा होगा? 5 करोड़ रुपए हमारा प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट रहा होगा एज ऑन 1 अप्रैल 2020। एनी डाउट इन दिस पॉइंट बेटा? बढ़ू आगे, सिंपल पॉइंट था। चलिए देखिए, नाउ नॉन आर एन डी का तो कोई भी एडजस्टमेंट नहीं है। नॉन कैश आइटम कितने रुपए डिडक्ट हो गया जिसके कारण आवर रिटेन अर्निंग हैज बीन रिड्यूस, दैट इज 12 करोड़ रुपए, तो हम उसको एड बैक कर देंगे। नॉन कैश आइटम 12 करोड़ रुपए, जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन है लास्ट ईयर से रिलेटेड वो आएंगे। सेकेंड पॉइंट में कोई ट्रांजेक्शन नहीं है, थर्ड पॉइंट में कोई ट्रांजेक्शन नहीं है, फोर्थ पॉइंट में कोई ट्रांजेक्शन नहीं है। सो वी हैव कंप्लीटेड द एडजस्टेड कैपिटल। निकाल लीजिए बेटा कितना आ रहा है। इट्स 1512 करोड़ रुपए। क्लियर है? अब हम बहुत एक सिंपल कैलकुलेशन करते हैं, वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल, है ना? बहुत ही सिंपल है बेटा। 14% मल्टीप्लाई बाय कितना शेयरिंग है? 45% शेयरिंग है इक्विटी का, प्लस ध्यान दीजिएगा बेटा 6% प्री टैक्स है, जबकि हमेशा हमें कौन सा चाहिए होता है? पोस्ट टैक्स चाहिए होता है। सो 6% अगर प्री टैक्स है तो द फोर टैक्स पोस्ट टैक्स विल बी 4.2%। 4.2% को मैं ऐसा लिख सकता हूं 0.042, एक ही बात है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 0.55। तो बताइए बेटा वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल कितना आ गया? 0.14 इंटू 0.45 and 0.042 into 0.55. So 8.61 is your weighted average cost of capital. So जब आप 12 करोड़ पे 8.61 कैलकुलेट करोगे, that will give you the expectation of long-term providers capital, and this expectation will be compared with the actual profit that has been earned, actual cash profit rather we say, earned by the organization. ठीक है? तो अच्छा क्वेश्चन है बेटा। जब भी ये क्वेश्चन आता है 20 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन, इट विल कवर whenever the paper setter insert the economic value added in your paper. Okay, चलिए बेटा सेकंड वाला, कंपनी के लिए एक्सेप्टेबल आरओसी 7% था। चेक कीजिए क्या हमने सही में 7% अर्न किया है या नहीं किया। अगेन आई एम गिविंग यू सम टाइम ऑफ मैक्सिमम 2 और 3 मिनट, बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी कंपेरेटिवली सिंपल पॉइंट बेटा, कुछ भी स्पेशल नहीं है। जल्दी से आप मुझे बताइए कितना प्रॉफिट कंपनी ने अर्न किया ऑन परसेंटेज बेसिस, दैट विल बी कंपेयर्ड विद द एक्सेप्टेबल आरओआई ऑफ 7%। ओके, चलिए वेरी इजी बेटा ना, बहुत सिंपल है, ज्यादा टाइम ना लगे आपको, कोशिश कीजिएगा। यस श्रीवानी बेटा, प्लीज आस्क योर डाउट। ओके बेटा, इट्स वेरी सिंपल कैलकुलेशन। तो देखिए, आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ कौन से बिजनेस का निकालना है, वाटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑपरेशन विच इज रेगुलेटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट। सो हाउ मच प्रॉफिट यू अर्न, 95 करोड़, एंड व्हाट इज द कैपिटल, इट्स 1422 करोड़। नाउ यहाँ पे एक सब्जेक्टिव मैटर है बेटा, nowhere in the question the water regulatory authority specify whether they will take the opening capital or the closing capital. We are going for the opening capital. Even in case you can go for the closing capital also, okay, it will also be correct because nothing is mentioned in the question regarding whether we have to take the opening or closing whenever we are computing the ROC. So 95 crore divided by 1422, that will give you the ROC that is well within the acceptable ROC of 7%. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए। So there is one more question related to economic value added. Okay, that is the question, a mix of financial management as well as the economic value added. It's not a pure question of economic value added. Some concept of financial management are also applicable in this particular question. Okay, so let's start this question beta. Question number 3, sorry, available in page number 48. Shivani beta, in yesterday's session, I already told you there are two methods to calculate the notepad. The first one is PBIT minus interest, that will give you the profit before tax. Then you will deduct the tax, and that will arrive you the profit after tax. Once you arrive at the profit after tax, add the interest after taxes. So suppose the tax rate is 10 crore rupee. So you have deducted 10 crore rupee, and at the end, what amount you have added? You have added the amount of 7 crore. So indirectly you have been benefited by rupee 3 crore. हमने ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट कम किया है ना बेटा. The purpose of deducting tax benefit is because of interest charge, our operating income will reduce, and therefore we will incur lower income tax rate. अगर हम उसको प्लस कर देंगे, then our operating income was increased. So that is a tax charge, while it is a tax benefit. हमने जब माइनस किया तो जो हमारी ऑपरेटिंग इनकम है, हमने उसमें से माइनस किया है, because we will get the tax benefit equivalent to this amount. Okay, Shivani? श्रीवाणी, क्लियर है बेटा ये पॉइंट आपको? ओके, चलिए बेटा। सो नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Again the same pattern, we will read out the question combinedly, and then after some time I will give you this question to solve on your own. Okay, the last question of financial model, we have completed ROI, we have completed RI, and just about to complete the economic value added through this question number 3. आइए देखिए, X Greeting is a Korean company based in Seoul, committed to supplying the highest quality stationery, greeting card, gift, children product, which are sourced from all over the world. Okay, company also distributes Sunday paper, Korean made eco-friendly stationery design and manufactured in Seoul. Okay, so the company name is X Greeting. We are a Korean company. Our capital is Seoul. Okay, वहां पे हमारी होम करेंसी KRW है. Our home currency is KRW. It is also listed on the KRX for last 20 years. जैसे अपने निफ्टी होता है, सेंसेक्स होता है. In the South Korea, might be the name of the Sensex is KRX. So company is listed in the Sensex of Korea for last 20 years, and its current share price is KRW 23.25. I already told you, beta, it's a combination of financial management and economic value added question. You are a management accountant of the company, and director have asked you to study the company on a value based management, which is different approach to the performance management. The director have heard this method, considering it a way of focusing on shareholder interest, and in the present economic scenario they think it will be useful for the purpose of X. तो इन दो पैरा से हमें 2-3 चीजें ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी X Greeting, साउथ कोरिया में है, वहां की करेंसी KRW है. कंपनी इज ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड इन द सेंसेक्स ऑफ साउथ कोरिया, for last 20 years, and the current market price is KRW 23.25. Okay. Conventionally, EPS and share price were used to assess performance. The proposed changes are important, and the director required to have the implication of the new analysis and also want to convince the major investor for the future benefit. So हमें फाइनेंशियल डेटा दिया है 2 सालों का, 2021 का एंड 1920 का. ओके. और फिर स्टॉक मार्केट के बारे में भी इंफॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है. क्या बोला है? Assess the performance of X grading using economic value added. तो सबसे पहला पार्ट है हमारा, हमें ईवीए निकालना है एक्स ग्रेडिंग का. ठीक है, पहला. फिर एनालाइज द रिजल्ट रिलेटिव टू दोस ऑफ अर्निंग ईपीएस एंड द शेयर प्राइस. फिर हमें ईपीएस निकालना है, शेयर प्राइस निकालना है, और हमारे मेजर इन्वेस्टर को हमें कन्विंस करना है अबाउट द कंपनी प्रॉस्पेक्ट. तो हमें 3 चीजें करना है बेटा यहां पे. सबसे पहला हमें इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू एडेड निकालना है. ठीक है. सेकंड, हमें यहां पे ईपीएफ और शेयर प्राइस निकाल के मेजर इन्वेस्टर को कन्विंस करना है कि कंपनी इज परफॉर्मिंग सुपरबली इवन इन दिस मार्केट, है ना. तो चलिए बेटा कुछ समय देता हूं मैं आपको. बहुत सिंपल है. ईवीए कैलकुलेशन तो बहुत ही सिंपल है, बिकॉज इन दिस क्वेश्चन देयर इज नो सिंगल एडजस्टमेंट रिगार्डिंग द नोटपैड और द कैपिटल. सो बहुत कम समय लगना चाहिए बेटा. आई एम गिविंग यू 5 to 7 मिनट टू फाइंड आउट ईवीए फॉर बोथ द ईयर 1920 का भी और 2021 का भी, because detail has been given for both the year. So definitely they require the EVA to be computed for 1920 as well as 2021. So I'm giving you 5 to 7 minutes. Rashmi, if EVA is negative, beta, it means the expectation of the long-term provider of capital is not sufficient. The actual profit earned is not sufficient to cover the long-term provider of capital. Simply, beta, expectation suppose weighted average cost of capital 12%, while the actual profit converted in relative term is 11%. It means the actual profit is not fulfilling the expectation of the shareholder long-term provider of capital. Okay, Rashmi? Please provide me the answer, beta, if you have completed the same. Have you completed the economic value added for both the years? Then please provide me the answer. Okay, for two or three students have given me the answer, beta. Please communicate fast. What will be the economic value added for both the financial year? Last 2 minutes I am giving to you, beta, because no, there is no adjustment. The calculation is very much simple as compared to the question we have already solved related to economic value added. Okay, beta. Now please check. Uh, we have to calculate economic value added. First of all, we will calculate the economic value added for the last year 1920. Okay, we have been given the opening capital employed. ये डेटा हम यूज करेंगे. This is the opening capital employed 198.4. Okay, this will be the data we will use 198.4. Weighted average cost of capital we will calculate the same. It's before tax, so 4.2 will be the after tax, and it will be 6.4 will be the after tax debt rate. Okay, so let's calculate the weighted average cost of capital. The ratio of debt and equity is 40:60. So 11.115 into 0.6. This will be the ratio of equity, and 4.2 multiplied by 40%. This will be the ratio of debt. So it will get the weighted average cost of capital for the year 1920. Okay. So opening capital employed multiplied by weighted average cost of capital will provide you the expectation of the long-term provider of capital. Okay. This has to be considered with the actual profit earned. So this is operating profit, profit before interest and tax. Okay. We have been given the tax paid amount. इंटरेस्ट है और टैक्स रेट हमारे को दिया हुआ है. इफ नथिंग इज मेंशन, we can assume that whatever we have earned, whatever the tax charges, we have already paid the same in full amount. So 65.38 minus it will provide you profit before tax minus 30% is the tax rate. Okay, then you will get the profit after tax, and that back interest after tax, you will get the actual profit that has been earned by the organization in 1920. Similar calculation is to be done for 2021. Okay, beta? So any other doubt in this calculation? You can check the answer from the study material. I'm giving you 1 or 2 minutes, beta. No? You can check the answer of economic value added. And in case you are having any doubt regarding the same, you can ask me. Okay, beta, it's a comparatively simple part. And regarding the share, you can easily tell that one while calculating the EPF and the stock market price. One thing is to be considered from financial viewpoint. Suppose the market has fallen down by 10%. Suppose. But if our share has also fallen down, but by just 7%, suppose. So we can convince our investor that since the sentiment of the market is negative, our share price has also fallen down, but if it still overperformed the market because the index, because the Sensex of that particular country has fallen by say 10%, while our share price has fallen by just 7%. So we can convince them in this way. Okay, beta? So let's wind up this particular topic, economic value added here, and then we will start after the break a new topic known as responsibility accounting or the balance scorecard as the time permit regarding that. है ना? So break लेते हैं बेटा. 1925 हुआ है, 1940 को sharp मिलते हैं with a new topic. Okay, let's take a break of 15 minutes. Okay. So welcome back, students. So let's start with a theoretical topic. There are no practical portion on that except a small question on the profit and the revenue center. Otherwise, the very first topic available in this chapter is a theoretical one. The heading is responsibility accounting. So please give the heading. And this topic has already been asked in the examination for 10 marks. So, although not 100% practical topic, but still important from examination viewpoint because already asked in the examination for 10 mark straightforward question. You're adding responsibility accounting. So, what is responsibility accounting? Please listen very carefully. An organization is divided into different cost center. In a layman language, we can call department. Cost center is nothing but the department. So organization is divided into several different departments. Okay. So if if the strategic level of management, there are three levels of management: strategic level at the top management, then the tactical level, that is the middle level of management, and the operational level, that is the lower level of management. Okay. So when the strategical level of management decide to delegate the responsibility to the departmental head instead of doing all the decision making work in the organization related to all department, they want their departmental manager to take day-to-day decision on their own, and at the end of the period management will check how well they have performed in their respective department, whether the autonomy given to them has benefited the organization or not. So for this purpose we will do accounting known as responsibility accounting when a particular department is held responsible for any factor, whether it be a cost, that you are responsible for the actual cost and the standard cost, or you are responsible for revenue generation, or you are responsible for profit generation, anything. Whenever a department is held responsible regarding a particular factor, then at the end of the period, whatever data, financial data, is related with that department, we have to collect that one. The second point is very important. We have to summarize that one because whenever we are reporting to the strategic level of management, we have to give the summarized one. No? So it's the collection, it's the summarization, and after the summarization, we have to report the financial information to the strategic level of management, where departmental head are responsible in the area of cost, revenue, profit, or investment. So that is the basic theme of responsibility accounting. The first point is this work only and only in decentralized environment. It will not work in centralized environment. What's the difference between centralized and decentralized environment? In centralized environment, the decision making power vests with the strategic level of management. While in the decentralized environment, the strategic level of management have delegated its responsibility, have made accountable the tactical and operational level management to do the routine decision making on their own. Only they want that we have given the autonomy to you, you have to perform in the best interest of the organization. So, what is responsibility accounting? Can you please repeat with me? It's the collection of financial information, then summarizing the financial information, and finally report that financial information, summarize financial information to the strategic level of management when the departmental head are held accountable for certain factor of organization. Such can be the cost, such can be the revenue, such can be the profit, or even it can be an investment center. So please give the heading beta, responsibility accounting. Write down the meaning of it. Responsibility accounting. Write down the meaning. It is the collection of very important topic which I already asked in the examination. Huh? It's the collection, comma, summarization. It's the collection, comma, summarization and reporting of financial information where individual departmental manager are held responsible for either cost, comma, revenue, comma, profit, etc. What is the basic objective behind responsibility accounting? At the end of the period, we have already given them autonomy to take decision on their own in the best interest of the organization. So the objective of responsibility accounting is simply to check whatever decision has been taken by the departmental manager due to the autonomy given to them, whether that decision has benefited the company, whether the departmental head has taken decision in the best interest of the organization or not. This is the sole purpose of responsibility accounting. Write down second point, objective. To check how well a departmental manager has performed, for those transactions which are under his control, full stop. Also to check whatever decision has been taken by the departmental manager, comma, whether they are in the best interest of the organization or not. So I have already repeated this point also in the very first session that this chapter is applicable only and only in decentralized environment. So please write down the third point, beta. Responsibility accounting works only in decentralized environment. That is, the strategic level of management, has delegated the authority and responsibility to the departmental head. Okay, beta. A very short question is available in the study material. Let's discuss that one before going further regarding the organizational structure. Okay, this is a very simple question. Let's start reading this question and you can answer it very effectively. X and Y Limited are in the manufacturing of bearing balls. So there are two companies, X Limited and Y Limited. They are engaged in the manufacture of bearings. The organizational structure, we will study in this. What do you mean by organizational structure? The structure of both the firm if different from each other. If X Limited decision power is centralized with top management only, whereas in Y Limited, their decision-making power is decentralized. There are two companies, different. In X Limited, decision-making power rests with the strategic level of management, while in Y Limited, the decision-making power is decentralized. सिर्फ आपको identify करना है which among X and Y Limited will be benefited more from the implementation of responsibility accounting, will work only and only in decentralized environment. Since Y Limited is having the decentralized environment, for Y Limited alone is the company which will be benefited from responsibility accounting. X will not be benefited from responsibility accounting because you cannot hold responsible a departmental manager when he has to follow the instruction only. He has nothing to make the decision on their own. So how we can judge a departmental manager when he or she has having no authority at all? So in X Limited, the concept of segment reporting or the responsibility accounting will not work since it's a centralized decision-making environment. ओके बेटा, चलिए नाउ अब हम दूसरे कंसेप्ट में आते हैं इसी से रिलेटेड, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर है that will itself communicate whether the decision making power is centralized or decentralized. क्या बोला बेटा मैंने? जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर है हमारी कंपनी का, that will itself communicate whether the decision making power is centralized or decentralized, है ना? तो देखिए बेटा, अब अपन आते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर में. लिखिए बेटा, गिव द हेडिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर. इसमें लिखिए मीनिंग. It defines the role of individual in an organization. Comma, what are the responsibilities allocated to them? What are the responsibilities allocated to them in the best interest of the organization, and whether they are working in the best interest of the organization. So what is organizational structure? It outlines the role of departmental manager in the organization, what authority they have gained from the strategic level of management, and whatever decision they are taking, whether they are in the best interest of the organization. So this concept of organizational structure will communicate. So in our study material, we have been given 4 organizational structure. The very first one is functional organizational structure. So एकदम traditional organizational structure होता है ना, कि for every function we will be having a departmental manager. For production, we are having a production manager. For finance, we are having a finance manager. For marketing, we are having a marketing manager. बस उसी को हम यहाँ पे formally बोलेंगे फंक्शनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर. जो स्पेसिफिक स्किल है, नॉलेज है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हम पूरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बाइफरकेट कर देते हैं. सेल्स मैनेजर, प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर, परचेज मैनेजर, फाइनेंस मैनेजर, सेलिंग मैनेजर. तो इस प्रकार से हमने पूरा उनको बाइफरकेट कर दिया है. दैट इज नोन एज फंक्शनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर. बट nowadays, functional organizational structure is becoming popular only and only in the small and medium-sized enterprises where there are only few products. Okay. And more or less, in case of functional organizational structure, there is a centralized power. And the decision-making power is centralized. So if the organization is functioning on functional organizational structure, the benefit of responsibility accounting cannot be exploited because more or less the decision-making power is centralized in case of functional organizational structure. So let's read out from the slides, beta. A structure used to organize the workers. Workers are grouped according to their specific skill and knowledge. Okay. And this is very, very important. In functional organizational structure, These are appropriate for small and medium-sized enterprise who are working in a few product only. Okay, so this is the first this is the first organizational structure known as functional organizational structure, जहां पे हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अलग अलग फंक्शन के लिए अलग अलग मैनेजर को अपॉइंट कर देते हैं, बट मोर और लेस द डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर रेस्ट एट द स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. Therefore, there will be very little benefit if we implement the responsibility accounting in functional organizational structure. Clear है? The second one is very important. Divisional organizational structure. Divisional organizational structure in which we divide the whole organization into different departments or based on geographical area or based on product and services. Okay, suppose we are having 5 products. So this product will be handled by Mr. This. So all the day-to-day decision regarding the capital investment, revenue decision, regarding the appointment or worker or anything, all the decision will be taken by the departmental head. Okay, so in divisional organizational structure, department will work autonomously. In which, or what do you mean by autonomously? In which day-to-day decision will be taken by the departmental head itself without informing to the top management. But at the end of the period, their performance will be evaluated with whatever decision they have taken, whether they are taken in the best interest of the organization or not. So this is known as ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर, है ना. डिविजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर में हम ये कर सकते हैं बेटा, हमारे पास जो अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट है, हम उन हर एक प्रोडक्ट के लिए एक डिपार्टमेंट बना सकते हैं. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्रोडक्ट डिपार्टमेंट, होम गुड्स डिपार्टमेंट, फिर इसमें हम अलग अलग फंक्शनल हेड बना सकते हैं. बट दिस इज डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 1, डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 2, डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 3. द सीईओ विल डेलीगेट ऑल द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, all the authority to the departmental head so that they can take their decision in the best interest of the organization as a whole. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए. तो एक काम कीजिए, आप एक बार यहां से एक स्टडी मटेरियल का जो कंटेंट है एक बार आप रीड आउट कर लीजिए बेटा. इफ यू आर हैविंग एनी डाउट वी कैन सॉल्व दोस डाउट इंस्टेंटली. सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर यहां पे दिया हुआ है आपको, एक बार जल्दी से आप इसको रीड आउट कर लीजिए. इट हैज बीन गिवन इन 2 or 3 पेजेस. सो आई एम गिविंग यू सम टाइम बेटा, यहां तक एक बार आप उसको पढ़ लीजिए, फिर अपन आगे बढ़ते हैं regarding the responsibility center, and this will be the very very important terminology whenever we are studying the responsibility accounting. Okay, so समझ देता हूं बेटा एक बार आपको मैं, एक बार जल्दी से आप रीड आउट कर लीजिए the content of study material, because the content of study material has been superbly drafted. When you compare the study material 5 years before and as of now there is no need whatsoever to study even a single question from any other author book. The study material, the case study digest, RTP, MTP provide you enough knowledge to have confidence to face the examination of paper number 5 SCMP. Okay, तो चलिए बेटा समय देता हूं, एक बार ये पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर आप रीड आउट कर लीजिए. आई एम गिविंग यू 5 to 7 minutes ऑफ टाइम. इन केस यू आर हैविंग एनी डाउट यू कैन प्लीज आस्क देम बेटा, है ना. आई विल रिजॉल्व देम. Please read out the content very carefully, beta. It's an important theory. Otherwise, I will not focus so much on this theoretical part. Last 2 minutes are available with you. Please try to complete the reading part in the available 2 minutes. Okay, Aniket wants to explain about the matrix structure. Okay, beta. In a matrix structure, what we will do, we will make a team. Okay, and that team will consist of persons from different skill sets. In the divisional structure, in the functional structure, they are defined to work only according to a single set of skill, while in matrix organizational structure, we will derive a team that will consist of expert in different field. Okay, so a different team will be given different responsibilities, and the team will not only responsible to the immediate boss, that is the project manager, they will also report to the tactical level of management, so that if any decision is to be taken, that can be taken very promptly, है ना. जनरली बेटा आज की तारीख में मैट्रिक्स उतना प्रिवेलेंट नहीं है. द मोर प्रिवेलेंट इज द डिविजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर, जिसके कारण ही ये पूरा चैप्टर जो है परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट एंड इवेल्युएशन इज टोटली बेस्ड ऑन डिविजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर. ओके बेटा निकेत, यहाँ पे बस हम एक क्रॉस फंक्शनल टीम बना देते हैं एंड टीम विल बी गिवन द responsibility, not a single departmental manager or a single person. No, beta. Bhaumik, we will understand what do you mean by SBU, strategic business unit. Once we complete the responsibility center, then we will focus on that point, that whether each department can be considered as strategic business unit or not. Just wait for another 10 to 15 minutes, beta. When we are about to complete the investment center, na, then this doubt of yours will be cleared. Okay, Bhaumik? अब आते हैं बेटा, एक बहुत 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 ही इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन है ये वाला. नाउ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सेंटर ध्यान दीजिए, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन है अब ये. रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सेंटर कैन बी ऑफ 4 टाइप्स: कॉस्ट सेंटर, प्रॉफिट सेंटर, रेवेन्यू सेंटर और इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर. So first of all, what do you mean by responsibility center का अगर हमारा पहला, अगर हमने अपने responsibility department जो responsibility दिया है, that is given related to cost only. If we have given the responsibility to a departmental manager for cost only, then that departmental manager is known as cost center. It means the effectiveness of that department will be judged on the basis of the cost incurred compared with the standard cost. बहुत सिंपल है बेटा. अगर कोई डिपार्टमेंट को हमने कॉस्ट सेंटर डेजिग्नेट किया है, then at the end of the period the performance of that particular department will be evaluated on the basis of cost actually incurred by them and the standard cost that should have been incurred by them. अगर वेरियांस, कॉस्ट का वेरियांस अगर फेवरेबल है, then we will say that yes, department has performed well. लेकिन अगर कॉस्ट का वेरियांस एडवर्स है, then definitely the performance of that department is not satisfactory. तो बहुत सिंपल है. अगर कोई भी डिपार्टमेंट को हमने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिया है कि यू हैव टू बस, आपको एक ही जवाबदारी हम दे रहे हैं, you have to control the cost, you have to reduce the cost, nothing more is expected from you, then definitely at the end of the period we will compare 2 costs, जो cost लगी है actual cost और जो cost लगनी चाहिए थी, that is the standard cost. If the variance is favorable, the department has performed well. If the variance is adverse, definitely the department needs a lot of improvement. तो लिखिए बेटा, हेडिंग दीजिए रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सेंटर. Responsibility center. There can be 4 types of responsibility center. There can be 4 types of responsibility center. One by one लिखिए. Cost center. Next line. Revenue center. Revenue center. Next line. Profit center. And point number 4 is investment center. And profit number 4 is investment center. ओके बेटा, तो चलिए अब लिखिए, पहला हेडिंग दीजिए आप, कॉस्ट सेंटर. Cost center. The department concerned is only responsible for cost that was actually incurred in its department. Next line. The performance will be measured. The performance will be measured by comparing the actual cost, with the standard cost. Okay, I will give you 2 examples of cost center. In ICI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, there is a segment known as Board of Studies. Okay, Suppose in board of studies, there is a department known as printing department, printing of study material, printing of RTP, MTP, etc. There is a department known as printing department. Okay. It doesn't directly contact with the student. The work of printing department, whatever requisition has been received regarding the printing of book, it just print that book. Okay. So the printing department in the board of studies is a perfect example of cost center in which the performance of printing department will be evaluated on the basis of what actual cost has been incurred for the actual output, and for the same output, what will be the standard cost. If the printing department has saved some cost by its own efficiency, then definitely the departmental manager will be rewarded bonus, and vice versa. In case it is not, then definitely a question will be raised to the printer department that how your cost exceeded. They have to justify the reason behind that. Okay. The second example I want to give regarding the cost center is regarding Maruti Limited. Suppose Maruti Limited has different department. One of the department is doing the painting work. Okay. जो कार में पेंट होता है वो डिपार्टमेंट वर्क करता है. So that department has nothing to do with the profit or revenue of the organization. The department work is only and only to control the painting cost. What has been incurred, that should be compared with based on the output, what should be the standard cost. Okay बेटा, तो इसका बेस्ट एग्जांपल दो मैंने आपको दिया हूं. एक तो बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज का आप ले सकते हो एग्जांपल रिगार्डिंग द प्रिंटिंग डिपार्टमेंट, एंड द सेकंड एग्जांपल इज गिवन इन द स्टडी मटेरियल. इन अ कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी, द पेंटिंग डिपार्टment can be considered as a cost center whose performance will be evaluated based on the cost. Okay. Now, please tell me, beta, this is very, very important point. Hai na? If you are the cost center, whether you will focus on cost control or whether you will focus on cost reduction also. What's your view, beta? If you are the cost center, you have been designated as cost center, whether you should focus only exclusively on cost control or you should focus on cost reduction also. Please communicate me your view. What your view about whether the cost center will focus exclusively on cost control or whether it will focus on cost reduction as well. And whenever the word cost reduction is there, it means without affecting the quality and functionality of the product. Okay, Bhavin, Dikshesh, Bhaumik have answered it's cost control only, while Aniket and Rashmi have answered for cost reduction also. And the correct answer is beta cost reduction also. Because if the department is focusing on only on cost control, chances are there that the variance will either be zero or the variance will be adverse. When the cost variance will be favorable, जो cost लगनी चाहिए, if the cost incurred was less than the standard, then definitely the department will be rewarded. And at this cutthroat competition, definitely not only the cost control technique will work, but the department should continuously engage in cost reduction technique also, because lower the cost actually incurred by them, higher will be the favorable variance. So department will be rewarded more and more bonus if they also focus on cost reduction at the same time. Okay, beta? बढ़े आगे? चलिए. Now write down second point, revenue center. Revenue center. If a department is designated as, please write down, if a department is designated as revenue center, comma, then the performance of that department will be judged then the performance of that department will be measured by, write down in inverted comma, how much revenue the department has generated. How much revenue the department has generated. Revenue the department has generated and not the cost incurred. Can you please tell me one or two example of in real life, beta, when such department are considered as revenue center, their performance will be judged only on the basis of revenue generated by them. Give me the real life example, beta. I don't want answer from the study material. Although example is given in the study material, but I don't want that example. I want your thought process to think on this own. Give me a real life example for in this company, this department will be considered as revenue center of the organization. Give me example of profit center, real life example, beta. Sorry, profit center नहीं, revenue center का मुझे real life example दीजिए आप. Okay, I will do one thing. I will give one example that has been given by the institute in the study material. The ticket counter of an airline company, can be considered as a revenue center. The department is only and only responsible for generating the revenue. It has no responsibility whatsoever regarding the cost that will be incurred in the organization. So the ticket counter of a airline company can be considered as a revenue center. For a multiplex, the ticket counter of a multiplex can also be considered as a revenue center. They are responsible for generating revenue for the organization. Now, please tell me, beta, what is the next best example that you can give related to real life department can be a revenue center? I'm waiting for your answers. Yeah, but selling tickets in PVR is definitely revenue center. Any other example, beta? Apart from the ticket counter, okay. Now this theme is over. कुछ अलग बताइए बेटा, कोई गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट का आप मुझे बता सकते हैं एग्जांपल कि सच इन सच गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट such persons or a group of person are considered as the revenue center? No, Dikshit. Bata outlet, beta, it's better to consider that a profit center. We will study after a few minutes that there is also a one responsibility to generate the profit. So better that Bata outlet will be a profit center rather than the revenue center. Okay, another example, real life example I want to use regarding the revenue center. जो भी local municipality होती है, they will collect the property tax. They are collecting the property tax or the waste management system. अगर कहीं पे जैसे we are in Indore, we are having the waste management system. So there is a separate department whose responsibility is only to collect the property taxes, to collect the waste management charges from the public. है ना, उनका सिर्फ काम ये है. They have nothing to do with the cost incurred in the local municipal body. Their whole purpose, their revenue, their bonus will be decided how much collection you have been made against the target revenue decided by the local municipal body. That you can take a practical example of revenue center. We are responsible only and only to collect the taxes on behalf of the local municipal body. So such department or a group of team will be considered as revenue center in the local municipal body. वेरी गुड बेटा. सीमा सुरेश शर्मा, ऑक्ट्रा में हम बोल सकते हैं जो टोल टैक्स होते हैं, जो कैबिन बने हैं, they can be regarded as the revenue center. They are only responsible for collecting the revenue from the cars or the vehicles. Okay, चलिए बेटा. Now we will move to the another point. Please give the heading profit center. लिखिए बेटा. Profit center. If a department is regarded as a profit center, if a department is considered as a profit center, comma, it is not only performing the function of a cost center, it is not only performing the function as a cost center, but is also performing the function of a revenue center. So अगर हम कोई भी डिपार्टमेंट को प्रॉफिट सेंटर बोलते हैं, वो ड्यूल कैपेसिटी में काम करेगा. Not only that department will control and reduce the cost, but also that department wants to maximize the profit, because profit दो तरीके से बढ़ सकता है. Either we can maximize the profit, or a better way to control the cost, and if possible to reduce the cost without affecting the quality and functionality of the product. So profit center. Now, please give me the example of a profit center. First of all, let's take the example given by the study material. Canteen in a college. They are not only responsible to control their cost or reduce their cost, but they're also responsible for for revenue generation. Indirectly, their performance will be evaluated. How much profit you have generated during the period from your department. So canteen in a college or canteen in any organization in a factory can be considered as a profit center. Another example given by one of the students is Bata Center. They are having different outlet. Domino's is having different outlet. So each outlet can be considered as a profit center. You have been given the authority to do the marketing, to purchase the goods, whatever you want to do, you have full autonomy. At the end of the period, we will judge you on the basis of profit generated by your outlet. Profit generated by your outlet. Any other example, beta, related to profit center from your side? प्रॉफिट सेंटर का और कोई एग्जांपल आप देना चाहेंगे? When you think, na beta, then the concept will permanently retain in your mind. That's why I'm asking you multiple questions right from the very first lecture. And also here that you must think, what will be the profit center that I can attach, whether I can attach myself to the real life example? Please give me one or two examples related to profit center that can be attached to the real life situation. Seema beta, I think in multiplex snacks corner can be the revenue center. It's proper to say that department snacks corner will be a revenue center, I think. And it is more or related to the example given by the ICI. We want some different example beta so that hostels in college. Very good beta Rashmi. This can be the perfect example of profit center. Not only hostel has to generate more and more income by making more and more allocation of bed, also they have to control their cost. So definitely hostels in college can be the one of the best example of a profit center. Very good beta Rashmi Kamat. Okay, now the next responsibility center can be the investment center. This is the most important one of responsibility center. Please write it down. If a department is considered as investment center, if a department is considered as investment center, comma, the department is responsible for the following three transactions. The department is responsible for the following three transactions. Write down in next line, transaction number one, to control and even reduce the cost of the department, to control the cost and even reduce the cost of the department. To maximize revenue of the department. Next line, transaction number two, to maximize revenue of the department. Next line, and very, very important point, please write down through red pen. Transaction number three, purchase and sale of capital assets. Purchase of capital asset for expansion / replacement. Purchase of capital assets for expansion / replacement, and its disposal decision. And its disposal decision. तो यहाँ पे और क्या ऐड हो गया? तो प्रॉफिट सेंटर प्लस कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन will make the department as investment center. यहां पे अब उसको और लिबर्टी दी गई. You have the power to control or reduce the cost. You have been given the autonomy to maximize the revenue of the organization. You have been given the authority to purchase the capital asset for replacement or expansion, and to take decision whether to dispose such asset, whether it's the right time to dispose, or whether we can carry such machinery for some more period of time. Okay, so that is known as investment center. Okay, institute has given an example, a real life example of ITC business, है ना? यहां पे अब एक वर्ड यूज होगा, दैट वर्ड इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दैट इज स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट. क्या सभी डिपार्टमेंट या सभी बिजनेस जो हमारे इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर है, वेदर वी कैन रिगार्ड देम एज स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट? वर्ड को गौर कीजिए बेटा. स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट मीन्स कोर बिजनेस यूनिट. ओके, सो ऑल द डिपार्टमेंट, all the investment center cannot be considered as strategic business unit. Strategic business unit are those unit of the organization which are very crucial for the survival of the organization. जब हम रिलायंस की बात करते हैं तो they are dealing in 200 product, 200 plus product में वो डील करता है रिलायंस ब्रांड जो है. So whether each and every brand is a strategic business unit? No. स्ट्रेटेजिक का मतलब होता है जो कोर वैल्यू सिग्निफाई करता है रिलायंस की. वन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रिलायंस इज पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट. तो जो पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट है, दैट पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट कैन बी रिगार्डेड एज स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट. तो एक एग्जांपल भी दिया है बेटा आईटीसी का. दे आर हैविंग मोर देन 13 बिजनेस and they are having 11 department, but out of 11 department only 4 department are regarded as strategic business unit, which are very much crucial for the survival of the organization and to promote the growth of the group, है ना? तो अब एक काम कीजिए बेटा, एक बार आप ये रीड आउट कीजिए फ्रॉम द स्टडी मटेरियल रिगार्डिंग दिस पॉइंट. इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर का जो एग्जांपल दिया आईटीसी का, लेट्स हैव अ रीडिंग ऑफ दिस पॉइंट एंड देन वी विल मूव टू अ प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन, अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग द प्रॉफिट सेंटर एंड द कॉस्ट सेंटर. अब आइए बेटा पेज नंबर 6 में जो प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट आपको दिया हुआ है, जस्ट रीड आउट दिस प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट गिवन इन पेज नंबर 6. यहां पे आपको बताया जाएगा कि एवरी इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर कैन नॉट बी रिफर्ड टू अ स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट, है ना? सो माइंडेड ईच डिवीजन इज नॉट स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट. वो अगर हमारे लिए बहुत क्रूशियल होगा for company's profit, for company revenue, then such investment center can be regarded as strategic business unit. तो एक बार ये प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल पढ़िए बेटा आप आईटीसी का, देन वी विल स्टार्ट अ क्वेश्चन गिवन इन द नेक्स्ट पेज, है ना? चलिए आज का थोड़ा सा जो लेक्चर है बेटा, थोड़ा सा आज लेवल ज्यादा था, है ना? क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक तो रिपीटेशन हुआ अपना इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू एडेड का, एंड सेकंड दिस थ्योरेटिकल पार्ट, तो माइट बी टुडे लेक्चर विल बी समवॉट ऑन द हायर साइड, है ना? चलिए कोशिश करेंगे कि नेक्स्ट लेक्चर हम मॉडरेट कर पाए, सो दैट जो आपका इंटरेस्ट है वो हमेशा बना रहे. ओके बेटा, पढ़ लिया आपने? तो जो इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर है दे कैन बी रिगार्डेड एज स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट इफ दोस आर क्रूशियल प्रोडक्ट, क्रूशियल ग्रुप ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अब एक बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है स्टडी मटेरियल में, डेफिनेटली बेटा इफ दिस क्वेश्चन कम फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम ना, आई हैव अ डाउट दैट स्टूडेंट विल परफॉर्म वेल इन दिस क्वेश्चन, है ना? डाउट है मुझे, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, अपने आप में एक नई सोच हमें देता है कि पूरा डेटा वही है. If the department is a cost center, then how their performance will be evaluated. If the department is a profit center, how their performance will be evaluated. So very, very good example, beta. I recommend you to consider this example even in the last day before examination, because this is the only question available in the institute publication that is related with the example of cost center and profit center. Okay, चलिए आइए देखिए. The question is available in the next page, page number 7. A transport department of a 5-star luxury hotel have a total of 5 cars in the operation to pick up and drop its guests. So there is the client is a 5-star luxury hotel. उसका एक department है transport department. Transport department is having 5 cars for pick up and drop of its guests. The budgeted cost is 2,62,500, out of which 75,000 is fixed in nature for 25,000 kilometers of run in a quarter. So इसका बजट है 2,62,500, जिसमें से 75,000 फिक्स्ड इन नेचर है, और इनका जो टारगेट है टू पिकअप एंड ड्रॉप के जो किलोमीटर्स होंगे वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 25,000 किलोमीटर होंगे. फिक्स कॉस्ट इज कमिटेड इन नेचर एंड अनअवॉइडेबल टू द होल एक्सटेंट. ये नहीं भी बोलता तो भी हम यही अज्यूम करते हैं. ड्यूरिंग द क्वार्टर immediately close, kilometers covered by the car was 23,600 and cost incurred was 2,54,750. तो बताइए बेटा इसका परफॉर्मेंस, if the transport department is considered as a cost center, whether the performance of the transport department is favorable or adverse. This is the budgeted cost. Don't look at the solution part, beta. Think on your own. This is the budgeted cost, while this is the actual cost. Whether the transport department performance based on cost is favorable or adverse. Please communicate me. Waiting for your answer, beta, whether it will be favorable or adverse. Okay, Bhaumik has answered it's favorable. Okay. Geeta Patel, Seema Sharma, Aniket, Dikshit. What's your answer, beta? Bhavin. whether it's favorable or adverse. The two data cannot be compared right now, beta, because 2,62,500 is the budgeted data for 25,000 kilometers. And always remember, whenever we are talking about the standard cost will be calculated based on actual output. This is the cost incurred for actual output. So therefore, we have to revise the budget. If budget has been prepared for 23,600, we have to find out what will be the cost. तो देखिए क्या कैलकुलेशन होगा बेटा इसका 2,62,500 is the total amount, total budgeted amount for 25,000 kilometer. 2,62,500 is the total amount. इसमें से 75,000 मेरा फिक्स कॉस्ट है, and the remaining is variable cost. Amount बताया बेटा, variable cost का 262,500 minus 75,000. It's 1,87,500. It's a variable cost for how many kilometer? For 25,000 kilometer. Determine कीजिए per kilometer budgeted cost कितनी है? Per kilometer it's 7.5. Okay. Now actual output is 23,600. Actual cost is, you have been given the actual cost. What is the amount of actual cost? It's 2,54,750. Okay. 2,54,750 is the actual cost. Now we will find out the standard cost. ध्यान दीजिएगा बेटा. Fixed cost will remain same, whatever be the level. तो ये तो 75,000 ही आएगा. Plus ये बहुत important है. They have traveled for 26,600 kilometer, and for every kilometer, what should be the cost that should be incurred? It's 7.5. तो अब निकालिए बेटा total हमारी cost कितनी आनी चाहिए for an actual output of 23,600. So it is 2,52,000. तो जो actual output आया है 23,600, the cost should be 2,52,000, while the department has incurred 2,54,750. So there will be adverse cost variance of 2,750 if the department is regarded as the cost center of the organization. Clear है बेटा पॉइंट आपको? चलिए अब इसी को अगर अपन प्रॉफिट सेंटर माने कि द डिपार्टमेंट इज नॉट द कॉस्ट सेंटर, इफ द डिपार्टमेंट इज अ प्रॉफिट सेंटर, तो देखिए कार कैन बी हायर्ड फ्रॉम आउटसाइड एट ₹12 पर किलोमीटर, है ना. ये कार आप मार्केट से भी हायर कर सकते थे. तो चेक कीजिए बेटा 23,600 आपका टोटल आउटपुट था, एंड अगर ये कार आप मार्केट से हायर करते, then at the rate 12 you will have to incur 2,83,200. 2,83,200 आपको incur करना पड़ता, while you have incurred just 2,54,750. So there will be a favorable variance. In other words, the profit generated by the department will be 28,450, because जो vehicle अगर हम बाजार से हायर आउट करते तो इट विल कॉस्ट अस 2,83,200, while the transport department has incurred just 2,54,750. In other words, the transport department has saved 28,450, and saving its cost is indirectly increasing the profit of the organization. ठीक है बेटा. तो आज का लेक्चर बेटा थोड़ा सा हैवी था, आई नो इट, क्योंकि आज से थ्योरेटिकल पार्ट भी चालू हुआ है. In the next session, we will start the most important part of this chapter, that is known as non-financial model. And definitely, I will try to make it moderate by inserting the MCQs, multiple MCQs question in balance scorecard and performance prisma. So from the start of the next session, we will start the very first non-financial model, that is balance scorecard. We are also having 3 to 4 examples or case studies on that particular concept. And once that case study and case scenario are over, we will move to the another non-performance model that is known as building block model. Okay, बेटा? तो ठीक है, आज थोड़ा सा सेशन अपन जल्दी ऑफ करते हैं because it's not proper to start a new and very important topic at the end of the session because the efficiency will be definitely lower at the end of the session, and to start a new topic is not fruitful. तो आज के लिए अपन बस इतना ही रखते हैं बेटा. So thank you for watching the session, beta. For the next session, we will start with the non-financial model, balance scorecard. Okay. Thank you, beta. God bless you all. Technical team, please end the session.